Good evening, everybody, or maybe it's afternoon. For me, it's in the middle of the night, so you're getting my closing address, and I'll try and keep it brief, knowing that I'm standing between you and getting on with your lives. I think it's 4 a.m. here, so I decided to sleep. So thank you very much for Elizabeth for chairing the most influential paper presentation this year and playing this video, or overseeing playing this video. Another beautiful view of the Arts Centre on a great day that you're missing out on, but I'll come back to that very shortly. So, of course, thank you for attending ASE 2020. Hopefully we didn't have too many virtual conference hiccups that got in the way of things. I hope it was overall as good a conference experience as a virtual conference can be. We had, of course, a very strong technical program. Record number of attendees, almost close to 500 in the end, I think, and a very diverse range of countries represented. It's good to have some industry representation, and including organising a workshop and some of our events. I hope you found the networking and social activities, despite the limitations of a virtual platform and the time zones, to be still good. We did our best again to support that in the time we had and the platforms available to us. One interesting thing is, what does virtual attendance mean if we have in-person conferences again in the future? How do we actually have some sort of blended conference program rather than one or the other? I'll leave that for the future. We have a bunch of certificates to give out, and we'll somehow get them to you. Again, normally I'd hand them all out, but we'll just have to do it the electronic way. We've got a bunch of ACM distinguished papers. Well done to those. We have our student research competition winners. We'll also send those out to you. Our most influential paper certificate, we'll make sure that gets to the winners. Well done again, William and Alex. We have a bunch of distinguished reviewers and last-minute reviewers that Claire and David would like to really thank very sincerely. So we've generated some thank you certificates for them as well. I've generated a number of certificates for members of the organising committee to thank you for your service for ASE, which for many of you turned out to be a lot more challenging than was originally what you signed up for. Been running a photo caption competition and a leaderboard for Hoover activities. So again, we'll let you quickly finish that off and decide those winners in the next day or three. And I'll let those people know, as well as through the app, who's won that. Again, so I just want to thank everybody for making it a worthwhile event to organise. Without attendees, what's the point of it? It did cross my mind at one stage to actually cancel the conference and have another go next year. But in the end, we decided, all the effort that had gone into doing the research, writing out the research, the reviewing, we had to run the conference. Thank you so much to the student volunteers. Again, much more difficult job for them this year than if they were helping guide people around the Arts Centre and so on. Thank you to the virtualisation team from Deakin. Been really amazing having that pulled together at quite challenging time frames. And again, particularly thank you to Georgina and Claire, Deakin Events team, for all their support of the conference. Thank you to the session chairs, panel organisers, the people who organise networking and social activity sessions. Thank you to all the authors, both of the main conference and workshops, and the tutorial hosts that, again, without that academic content, we wouldn't have a conference. Thank you to the workshop organisers and also all the track chairs for the main conference. Particularly thank again Claire and David for the amazing amount of effort they had to put into running a very large now main conference track at ASE. Thanks to all the rest of the organising committee members for all the work they did. Again, many of them it turned out to be more work than what I told them it would be when I invited them to be on the organising committee. Really, again, thank the sponsors. that stuck with us. And I know it was difficult for some where they couldn't commit as they had originally hoped to, but thank you to those who continue to support automated software engineering. Thank you to the institutional sponsors, the IEEE, the ACM, SIG-AI, SIGSoft, Technical Council Software Engineering. And I thank you to the ASE Steering Committee for continued guidance and oversight of the conference program. Lastly, I just want to ask you to think about coming to ASE 2021. We had a long discussion with Steering Committee and the ACM and IEEE. There seemed to still be a lot of interest in people coming here to Australia. And so we had some dialogue with the general chairs of ASE 2021 and 2022, and they were very accommodating. Appreciate that very much. And they were willing to let us run ASE 2021 again, or attempt to run it again in Melbourne, Australia, and push the other ASEs 1 year out. So we will attempt to run ASE 2021 next year in November, in the middle of November in Melbourne. So I get to reuse more or less the same slides I used this time last year, ASE 2019. So again, welcome to ASE 2021 in Melbourne, Australia, the 36th IEEE ACM National Conference on Automated Software Engineering. There's a beautiful view from the Yarra over Central Business District, Flinders Street Station, and something that looks like it's on the Great Ocean Road. So at the Art Centre, you hopefully will get to see it this time in the real. It looks pretty cool, as you can see. It's a very nice conference venue right in the middle of Melbourne. Here's an outline where it is. So there's the Art Centre down there. They're just below the Yarra River. We've got a beautiful Botanic Gardens park there. We've got the famous Flinders Street stations across the bridge, and then all the kind of Melbourne-y Central Business District-y stuff along the river. A huge amount of places to eat and go and see and so on. Couple of hotels. I don't know why these walking things come up like this in Google Maps. It's completely the wrong way to get to each of them from the conference venue, but anyway, very close by. There's a couple of nice hotels to stay in. We will hopefully have the dinner at the MCG. There's the sort of setup for a banquet on the right-hand side, overlooking the famous turf. This is where Australian rules football normally has its grand final, where a lot of the cricket matches are played, and that was the Olympic Stadium in when it was 1950s, when the Olympics were in Melbourne. Lots of other things to do. Yarra Valley, which is, I live right next to that, so huge number of wineries. I think within 10 k's of where I live, there's 15 wineries or something like that, and restaurants, all that kind of cool stuff. The Wildlife Sanctuary, they've actually got a few of them, and this is one again up near where I live in Healesville. Melbourne's kind of quite a European city. So here's something that looks like it could be anywhere in the middle of Europe, down in the bottom left, but it's one of the laneways where there's lots of eateries, all closed at the moment, I might add, right at this point in time. Hopefully this time next year, November next year, they'll be open again, so you can enjoy. And of course the famous penguins in Phillip Island, which there's some people watching them come ashore. Great Ocean Road again. Well, you could have gone to ICSME in Adelaide, but you won't be. A legacy thing from last year's slides there. Of course, Victoria was a big gold rush area, and there's lots of remnants of that. An interesting one there at Sovereign Hill. Uluru, can't walk up it again because it's culturally inappropriate. In fact, it's always been culturally inappropriate, but beautiful place to go and look at. And of course, the really interesting, very wide range of wildlife here in Australia. If you really must, there's of course Sydney, beautiful harbour. Lots of other things there. The Opera House and the Harbour Bridge you can see. The Gold Coast up near Brisbane. Beautiful beaches. Quite an amazing place. And November, beautiful time of year. Of course, Great Barrier Reef up again in North Australia, up from the Gold Coast. And Tasmania, which is south of here. Again, amazing scenery, very, very different to the mainland. So just to finally close now, thank you for attending ASE 2020 in the virtual. We really again appreciate your attendance, all your contributions to the conference series. We do hope very much to be able to welcome you to Melbourne next year, ASE 2021. All the best, and take care of yourselves. I would say travel well, but maybe that's redundant. Take care. Good evening. Bye-bye.